They drift through the darkness in silence. Some are the size of pebbles, others are mountains. A few are hundreds of kilometers wide, relics of a solar system forged in fire and collision. To most, they look like debris, shattered rocks, floating ruins, leftovers from planetary formation. But to a growing number of visionaries, entrepreneurs, engineers, governments, these fragments aren't space junk. They're treasure, because buried inside many of them are the building blocks of civilization: iron, nickel, cobalt, platinum, water ice, carbon compounds, resources that are rare or expensive here on Earth. And now, for the first time in human history, we have the technology and the motive to go after them. This is not science fiction. This is the asteroid mining rush, and it's already begun. There are over 1 million known asteroids in our solar system. Most reside in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Others, called near-Earth objects, orbit closer to us, some within a few million kilometers of Earth. These rocky bodies aren't just lifeless stones. They're resource-rich vaults, forged in the chaotic crucible of planetary birth. Some are made almost entirely of metal. Others are carbon-rich, with organic molecules and frozen volatiles. Some contain more water than all of Earth's freshwater reserves, locked away as ice or chemically bound in minerals. One small metallic asteroid, just 500 meters wide, could hold trillions of dollars worth of platinum group metals. That's more than the value of the global economy. And more importantly, asteroids could hold the key to sustainable space infrastructure. Because if we can extract water, oxygen, and building materials from space itself, we won't need to lift everything from Earth's gravity well. We'll be able to build and orbit, fuel ships from lunar space, and open the solar system to industry and exploration. This isn't just a money-making scheme. It's a strategy for civilization beyond Earth. The idea of mining asteroids was once confined to science fiction, the domain of Star Trek, Arthur C. Clarke, and speculative futurists. But over the past 2 decades, fiction has started becoming reality. In 2012, companies like Planetary Resources and Deep Space Industries burst onto the scene with grand visions: robotic miners, fuel depots in space, and eventual full-scale asteroid refineries. Investors like Larry Page and Eric Schmidt, Google's tech giants, backed the dream. NASA partnered with them. Excitement built, but progress was slower than hype. Both companies eventually pivoted or collapsed under the weight of early ambition. Critics called asteroid mining a fantasy, and yet the spark never died. Today, governments and startups alike are laying the foundation again. NASA's OSIRIS-RX mission successfully collected samples from asteroid Bennu and brought them back to Earth in 2023, proving we can reach, interact with, and return materials from asteroids. Japan's Hayabusa missions showed it can be done twice, even with smaller budgets. Luxembourg launched a national initiative focused on space mining, followed by legal frameworks that give companies the right to own what they extract in space. And China has announced plans for asteroid capture and return, hinting at deep space ambitions beyond science. Meanwhile, startups like Astroforge, TransAstra, and Carmen Plus are quietly building tools, prospecting probes, capture mechanisms, and in-space processing tech. The new players aren't promising trillions, they're promising milestones. Small steps toward a long-term industry. The gold rush has matured into a calculated expedition. It's easy to look at asteroid mining and ask, why? We have mines here. We have resources. Why go to space? The answer lies in scale, sustainability, and survival. Earth is finite. Every mine leaves scars. Extracting rare metals for electronics, batteries, and green technologies comes with enormous environmental costs: deforestation, toxic runoff, geopolitical conflict. Asteroids offer a cleaner source. No ecosystems to destroy, no forests to raise, no water tables to poison. Imagine a future where cobalt for your electric car battery doesn't come from exploited labor, but from an asteroid that never knew life. Imagine solar panel materials, cell phone metals, even clean water, all supplied from beyond Earth without touching our biosphere. And more urgently, asteroids are threats as well as opportunities. The same rocks we aim to mine could one day strike Earth. Mining tech could evolve into defense tech. Prospecting missions could become early warning systems. Capturing or redirecting asteroids for resources may one day save millions of lives. This isn't just about profit. It's about preparing for the future. The vision is bold, but the details are grounded in hard science. Here's how asteroid mining could unfold. Prospecting: identify targets using telescopes and space-based surveys. Size, spin, composition, orbit, all must be mapped. Characterization missions: send small probes to potential asteroids. Analyze surface material, temperature, and internal structure. Extraction techniques might include thermal extraction, using sunlight or mirrors to release volatiles like water. Mechanical mining, using robotic arms or drills. Microwave sintering or laser vaporization for metal-rich bodies. Processing and refining, either in space or after returning materials to orbit or Earth. Extracted water can be split into hydrogen and oxygen, rocket fuel. Metals can be 3D printed into components. Transportation: materials can be sent to Earth orbit, the Moon, or Mars, wherever infrastructure is growing. Eventually, mining outposts might be fully autonomous, run by AI. They may use in situ resource utilization to repair themselves, replicate tools, or even build habitats. The first asteroid mine might be only a few meters wide, but it will be a seed for a supply chain that spans the solar system. Asteroid mining isn't just a technical challenge. It's a legal and ethical one. The Outer Space Treaty of 1967 says no nation can own celestial bodies, but it doesn't clearly address private resource extraction. Recent laws, like the U.S. Commercial Space Launch Competitiveness Act, 2015, and Luxembourg's 2017 Space Resources Law, state that companies can own what they mine, even if they don't own the object itself. But what about developing nations with no space programs? What happens if a company monopolizes a resource in space? Could future wars be fought over off-world claims? There are no space police, no off-world courts, no binding global agreements for mining rights. If this becomes a trillion-dollar industry, who benefits? And who's left behind? The asteroid mining rush may be a new gold rush. But history tells us gold rushes often come with exploitation, inequality, and environmental consequences. The question is, will we repeat those mistakes or evolve beyond them? We're not mining asteroids yet. Not truly, but we're getting closer. The next decade will bring dedicated prospecting satellites to catalog the most valuable targets, autonomous mining demonstrations on small, near-Earth asteroids, in-space refining tests, turning regolith into fuel or components, commercial sample returns by private companies aiming to sell asteroid material to research labs. Eventually, we may see orbital depots stocked with fuel mined from asteroids, ready to refuel Mars missions or lunar bases. We may see factories that never touch Earth, building satellites from off-world metal, powered by the sun, feeding a space-based economy. This isn't far away. It's already starting. The question isn't if we'll mine asteroids. It's how, when, and who will lead. For most of history, the stars were out of reach. The sky was a canvas for mythology, not industry. But now we stand at the edge of a new era, one where the boundary between Earth and space is no longer a wall, but a bridge. Asteroids are not just rocks in space. They are stepping stones, resource banks, waypoints on the road to becoming a multi-planetary species. To mine an asteroid is to look at something utterly alien and say, "We understand you, and we can work with you." It is an act of boldness, of skill, and, if done wisely, of balance with nature, even in space.